You can practice this while walking.
How we could
There
heal
exists within
ourselves?
you right
First,
now
by
something
breathing,
so
mindful breathing.
profound, so naturally
Because the
powerful,
body is wired
that
to heal
modern
itself.
medicine is only beginning to understand its
This
true
is Chinese
magnitude.
philosophy, the Zen.
Ancient healers knew this secret intimately, yet somehow we've forgotten the most fundamental truth about our own bodies. They are not broken machines waiting for external fixes, but rather intricate, wise systems, already programmed for perfect healing. What if I told you that the very breath moving through you as you read these words holds the key to unlocking your body's deepest healing potential? What if the gentle rise and fall of your chest right now is actually the first and most powerful medicine you possess? Your breath is not merely oxygen entering your lungs. It is life force itself, carrying with it the capacity to calm inflammation, regulate your nervous system, and activate healing mechanisms that have been dormant within you. Yet most of us breathe unconsciously, missing this constant opportunity for restoration that flows through us 18 to 20,000 times each day. The first of these powerful practices begins with something so simple, so available, that its profound nature often goes unnoticed. Mindful breathing is not about controlling your breath, but about befriending it, about learning to rest in the natural rhythm that has sustained you since your very first moment of life. When you begin to breathe with awareness, something magical happens within your body. Your nervous system, which may have been locked in patterns of stress and tension for years, begins to remember its natural state of ease. The fight or flight response that keeps so many of us trapped in cycles of illness and exhaustion starts to soften, making room for the deeper healing intelligence that lives within every cell. This is not meditation in the way you might imagine it, sitting cross-legged for hours in uncomfortable positions. This is about discovering that every moment offers you an invitation to return home to yourself through the simple act of conscious breathing. You can practice this while walking, while washing dishes, while lying in bed before sleep. Your breath is always with you, always ready to guide you back to your center. As you place one hand on your heart and one on your belly, feeling the gentle movement beneath your palms, you're not just observing breathing. You're participating in an ancient dialogue between your conscious mind and your body's innate wisdom. Each exhale releases what no longer serves you. Each inhale draws in not just air, but possibility, renewal, and the quiet confidence that your body knows how to heal. The breath becomes a bridge between the seen and unseen aspects of healing. While modern medicine focuses on symptoms and treatments that come from outside, mindful breathing awakens the pharmacy that already exists within you. The natural chemicals and hormones that reduce pain, boost immunity, and restore balance when given the right conditions to flourish. Notice how, even now, as you've been reading about breathing, your own breath may have begun to deepen slightly. This is your body's intelligence responding to the mere suggestion of healing, like a flower turning toward the sun. Your system is already beginning to remember what it means to breathe with intention, with love, with the understanding that each breath is a gift you give to yourself. This practice asks nothing extraordinary of you. It doesn't require special equipment, expensive treatments, or perfect conditions. It asks only that you remember what you already know in the deepest part of yourself, that you are not separate from the healing force of life, but are in fact its most intimate expression. When you breathe mindfully, you're not trying to fix anything. You're creating the spacious, loving conditions in which your body's natural healing can unfold. You're saying yes to the wisdom that created you, trusting in the same intelligence that heals cuts without your conscious effort, that balances your temperature while you sleep, that coordinates millions of cellular processes every second without your management. In the coming moments, as you move through your day, remember this. Your next conscious breath is your next opportunity for healing. Not because breathing will cure everything that troubles you, but because it will reconnect you with the part of yourself that has never stopped working on your behalf, that has never given up on your wholeness, that holds the blueprint for your complete restoration. What has been your experience with the healing power of conscious breathing? Have you noticed moments when simply paying attention to your breath brought you peace or relief? Share your story below. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Beyond the rhythm of conscious breathing lies something even more profound. A healing sanctuary that exists in the spaces between your thoughts, in the pause between your heartbeats, in the sacred stillness that surrounds and permeates your entire being. This is not emptiness, but fullness beyond measure. This is where your body's deepest regeneration occurs. In our world of constant noise and endless stimulation, we've forgotten that silence is not the absence of something, but the presence of everything we truly need. Your cells, your organs, your entire nervous system are continuously seeking these moments of profound quiet, these oases of peace, where the real work of healing can begin. Sacred silence is the second practice, and it operates on a principle that might surprise you. When you stop trying to manage, control, and fix everything in your experience, your body's natural intelligence finally has the space to do what it does best: restore itself to wholeness. Think about how a cut heals. You don't consciously direct your blood cells to form clots, or instruct your skin to knit itself back together. You simply create the conditions for healing. You clean the wound, perhaps cover it, and then you step back. You trust. You allow the silence of non-interference to become the ground in which healing unfolds naturally. This same principle applies to every aspect of your health. When you cultivate periods of deep inner quiet, you're not being passive or lazy. You're engaging in one of the most active forms of healing available to you. You're saying to your body, I trust you. I'm creating space for your wisdom to work. But this silence is not about forcing your mind to be quiet. That would be another form of effort, another attempt to control. True healing silence emerges when you learn to rest in the natural gaps that already exist in your experience. The moment between thoughts, the pause after an exhale, the stillness that exists right now, underneath whatever noise might be playing in the background of your life. As you settle into this quiet space, something remarkable begins to happen. Your fight or flight response, which may have been chronically activated, starts to dissolve. Your parasympathetic nervous system, the part responsible for healing, digestion, and restoration, finally has permission to do its work. Stress hormones begin to subside. Inflammation markers decrease. Your immune system strengthens. This is not wishful thinking. Scientists are discovering that these periods of profound stillness create measurable changes in your body chemistry. Your brainwaves shift into patterns associated with deep healing. Your heart rate becomes more coherent. Even your genetic expression can change, activating genes associated with health and vitality, while down-regulating those linked to stress and disease. You don't need to retreat to a monastery or spend hours in formal meditation to access this healing silence. lives within you right now, waiting patiently for your recognition. It can be found in the 3 minutes before you get out of bed in the morning, simply lying still and allowing yourself to exist without agenda. It exists in those moments when you're washing your hands, fully present to the sensation of warm water, the smooth texture of soap, the simple act of caring for yourself. The sanctuary of stillness is not a place you go to. It's a place you come from. It's the deep, unchanging peace that has never been disturbed by any storm in your life. Your thoughts may be turbulent, your emotions may be intense, your body may be experiencing challenges, but underneath all of that, this stillness remains perfectly intact, perfectly whole, perfectly available to support your healing. When you rest in this quiet space, you're not trying to solve anything. You're not analyzing your problems or planning your recovery. You're simply being present to the miracle of your own existence, trusting that the same intelligence that grows flowers and heals broken bones is fully present within you, working on your behalf in ways that your mind could never orchestrate. This silence becomes a form of the deepest self-compassion. You're giving yourself permission to simply be, without having to earn your worth through productivity or progress. You're acknowledging that your value doesn't depend on how well you perform, how quickly you heal, or how successfully you manage your life. Your worth is inherent, unshakable, and completely independent of any external circumstances. As you learn to dwell in this sanctuary more regularly, you may notice that solutions arise spontaneously. Not because you are trying to figure anything out, but because clarity emerges naturally from stillness. Insights about your health, your relationships, your life path bubble up from depths you didn't even know existed within you. This is the alchemy of sacred silence. It transforms not by adding anything new, but by removing the obstacles to what has always been present. It strips away the layers of worry, tension, and mental noise that have been clouding your body's natural intelligence, revealing the perfect healing wisdom that has never left you, not even for a moment. Now we turn towards something that might challenge everything you've been taught about healing, about your body, about the very nature of pain itself. The third practice emerges from a truth so radical, so counterintuitive, that it has the power to transform your entire relationship with whatever physical challenges you may be facing. What if the very symptoms you've been fighting against are actually messengers carrying profound wisdom? What if your body's discomfort, rather than being your enemy, is actually your most devoted friend, trying desperately to communicate something essential about your path to wholeness? Compassionate body awareness is not about positive thinking or pretending that pain doesn't exist. It's about developing a completely different relationship with your physical experience, one based on curiosity rather than resistance, on tenderness rather than judgment, on deep listening rather than immediate attempts to silence what your body is trying to say. Your body has been with you through.
I'm sorry I left you because I have things to attend for my self-care, like washing my face and washing my teeth for 2 minutes with toothpaste, but then the last 30 seconds with coconut oil. Why coconut oil? Because it is antibacterial, antifungal, antifungal, antiviral, and this is to imitate the oil pulling which the Vedic Indian medicine do for oral hygiene. Why? Because I'm translating a book about ageless brain by Dr. Del Bretson, and yesterday I was translating about the microbes and the bacteria living inside our body, on our skin, in our mouth, nose, ears, urethra, vagina, and we are in a sea or a cloud of microorganisms. So it is very important to look after the microbe in the gut, which is called microbiome. And there are researchers which think if there is no microbiome, if you lose this suddenly, then we could not survive for a very long time. We could not survive. So we have to keep a balance between the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. Are we going to get rid of everything? No, of the bad bacteria. So always we have to keep the balance by living healthy lifestyle. So I need time for my self-care. And today I want to do washing, so I collect the duvet cover, which is cotton, organic cotton, because we have to sleep on natural material and not polyester and microplastic. And in this book also he mentioned about microplastic and how it affects the health of our brains. It will accumulate and will cause inflammation, and it is toxic to the nerve cells of the brain. And I put this because I want to use my time really, because these videos and takes a lot of my time, and time is our life. It is the most precious thing we give it. So I left you with the breathing, and then I will be happy to summarize the ancient 5 Zen Habits, which will activate the body natural healing immediately. But the body is already programmed to heal itself if we know how to listen to our body. And this morning I did Arabic videos. In fact, in my channel there are Arabic videos and English videos. So if you are English, you could use the AI, but you need 2 devices. One, it has the ChatGPT, and the other one, it has my YouTube channel. So you press on the video, even in Arabic, let it run for a few minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, then ask the ChatGPT to translate. If you are English, you want to translate Arabic, ask English in your own language. Even if you are Chinese, it doesn't matter, because the AI is very good help. So now I'm going to summarize it, because it is very important. So we start with the breathing, and the breathing is very important. And my story with the breathing is since 1991, when my pulse was irregular, and I did a lot of investigation because I'm a medical professional, and it is very easy to access investigation. But when I went to Germany for a second set of investigation, they found my lung capacity and volume of my lung are small. So they advised me about the breathing and about my posture. And when I practice deep abdominal yoga breathing, my pulse become regular. And I used to have irregularity, which is called in medicine pulsus trigemini. And then I advised another Qatari doctor. I was working in Hamad Medical Corporation in Doha, Qatar, because I'm Iraqi and I left Iraq because of the wars. And I get refugee there, not refugee, in fact, as worker, as a consultant. And this Qatari lady also, but she was obese, not like me, and she has irregular pulse. So I advised her about breathing, and then she became better. This is in the 90s of the last century. Okay, and how I start to be educated, because of my personal experience and because we read about breathing in the physiology in medical schools. And what is the hemoglobin, what is oxygen and the curves and everything, and CO2, carbon dioxide, but they don't teach us the practice. And of course we are born with good breathing, and the best teacher is to notice a baby who is healthy, born through the natural canal, not by cesarean, and breastfed and lying on the back, and you see the abdomen, it goes up, when he or she inhale oxygen, the baby, let's say A, because in philosophy we don't mention name, we agent. So the agent A, the baby will be rising, and then when exhale, the abdomen come down. So this is abdominal yogi breathing, and always these babies, they will breathe through the nose, so it is nasal breathing, regular breathing, slow and calm. And there are, of course, many breathing exercises could you do for 3 minutes or 5 minutes every day, and this will change the biochemistry of your blood, because body is energy, and to produce energy we need oxygen to burn the food we eat and the water we drink by the mitochondria, which are the بيوت الطاقة, meaning energy houses. I'm starting in Arabic, then I translate in English because I'm doing too many Arabic videos. So this is very important for our health, the breathing, and it is essential. Why? If you stop breathing for 2-3 minutes, you are dead. You can stop water, food for a few days or even longer if you have plenty of fat, which you could burn and compensate for your energy. So breathing. So breathing will calm the nervous system, and especially the sympathetic nervous system, and then in exhalation that will stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the system for rest, digest, and during the stimulation of the vagus nerve, which is the parasympathetic nervous system, the healing happen. And nowadays there are a lot of videos, podcasts, and even books how to activate your vagus nerve, which is the parasympathetic nervous system, how to upgrade your vagus nerve, and I have these 2 books. I read them from cover to cover. So we have to listen to our body, and if there is a problem like pain in the joint or inflammation, like what happened to me when I ate cow product, which is very high quality cheese, Parmesan, Parmigiano Reggiano, which is expensive, and it's fermented for 30 months because I thought I will get the good bacteria, but then my body reacted to the cow milk and I have pain in the joint, so I stopped. So the inflammation become less, and I accept it. In fact, sometimes I meditate about the pain, to accept it, to enjoy it, because I'm aware of it. I can do something about it. So my body will not expect it as danger, and it will activate the stress response, but this will interfere with my healing. So it is better to look to your body with genuine compassion, and this will create the biochemical environment of safety, which allow the restoration to happen naturally. This doesn't mean you are become passive about your health or avoid the appropriate medical care, but it means the quality of a presence and acceptance to whatever treatment or practice you are engaged with. It means that you know the wisdom of your body, which is not separate from the healing process, but it is orchestrating it in ways more sophisticated than any external intervention could achieve alone. So if you develop this compassion for your body and awareness, then you will discover that your body has been trying to slow you down for good reason. And you feel tired perhaps because the body is fighting. So you finally get rest because you don't give your body rest, and you always have to do things. And also the digestive discomfort in your body, it is an attempt to guide you toward healthy foods and lifestyle choices that truly nourish you and not simply satisfy momentary craving. So your body held memories not just of trauma and difficulties, but every moment of joy, every experience of love, every time you felt you are truly alive and vibrant. So when you approach your physical being with the same loving attention you long to receive from the others, you are not only supporting your current healing, but also you are awakening these deeper cellular memories of oneness and vitality. So this practice will transform the very meaning of self-care, instead of self-care being another item on your to-do list, another way to fix or improve yourself. And that is what I told you. In fact, before I know about that, I have to do my self-care. I have to gargle, clean my mouth, brush my teeth, so that I keep the health of oral microbiome to prevent the bad bacteria which will travel to the brain. And they find that when they examine the brain of the Alzheimer cases, after death, they find the bacteria from the mouse arrive. It is in the plaque in the Alzheimer, and especially the Selfio vibrio, which is like road and curved, small. This is very nasty one. It is a curse, in fact. So you have to do conversation with your body, which is the dearest companion, and you begin to notice what it make it feel energized and not depleted, and bring joy instead of stress. And this will support the natural rhythm versus working against them. Gentleness of the approach, it does not make it weak. In fact, it requires tremendous courage to turn toward your pain with love instead of running from it. Yesterday, I wore a new boot, which is rubber, and because it is raining and because it is muddy, and I have problem with the socks which crumble under the sole of my left foot. And then during the walk, I was meditating about the pain, accepting it, because I recognize it. I have the brain, I recognize it. I took my boot off, my socks, to check if there is any stone, and to try to diagnose the problem and to help the healing. And I learned that I should wear long socks up to the knee. This is what they told me, the people with me in the group. Although my socks are good quality and for walking and are very expensive, but apparently they are short, so they are pulled. And because the boot is wide in the front, not like my shoes, which is very expensive and good quality and water resistant, because of the lace you tie it around the sock. So I learned many things yesterday. And we have a say in Arabic, learn from the cradle to the grave, and learn even if you want to go to China to learn something new. Of course, before there are no planes, no cars, nothing. So even if you go walking or on donkeys, you have to go if there is a place to learn from. So gentle revolution, and choose love over fear, trust over control, and presence over avoidance, and activate this compassionate body awareness. And you find that your physical challenge begin to feel less like punishment and more like teachers, not because suffering is necessary or valuable in itself, but because your willingness to meet your body communication with love and attention naturally dissolve many of the secondary layers of suffering. For example, the anxiety with pain, the shame about limitation, the fear about the future that often cause more distress than original physical symptoms themselves. So this practice will whisper to every cell in your body, you are not broken, you are not wrong, you are not failing, you are magnificent system doing your absolute best under whatever circumstances you are failing. And in that acknowledgement, in that fundamental acceptance, the deepest healing begin to unfold. And there is an ancient understanding that your body is not separate from the earth and the sky and the flowing rivers or the swaying trees. You are not a machine operating independently of the natural world. You are nature itself, expressing as this unique form governed by the same rhythm and intelligence that move through all living things. And the fourth practice invites you to remember this profound connection through the medicine of mindful movement. Most of us have learned to move through life as if we are carrying our body rather than living within them, as if the movement is simply means of transportation rather than sacred dialogue with the life itself. We rush from place to place, often disconnected from the miracle of muscle contracting and releasing, the joints articulating with perfect precision, of the constant complex coordination that allow even the simplest gesture to unfold. Mindful movement as a healing is not about exercise routines or fitness goals, though it can certainly include those things. It is about rediscovering movement as a form of prayer, a way of honoring the extraordinary gift of embodiment, a method of awakening the dormant healing energies that flow through your physical form like underground rivers waiting to be tapped. When you begin to move with the presence, something profound shift in your relationship with your body instead of movement being something you do to your body. It becomes something you do with your body, in partnership with its inner wisdom, harmony with its natural rhythm and limitation. You do it with your body, for your body, in your body, for your body, and with your body. And this might be as simple as taking a 3 conscious step, feeling your feet connect with the earth, noticing how your weight shift from one leg to the other, appreciating the complex miracle of balance that allow you to move forward without falling. Or might be the gentle rotation of your shoulders, releasing tension you did not even know you were trying or are carrying, your breath to deepen as your body remembers its natural ease. Your body holds within it the memory of every movement pattern it have ever learned. But it also contains movement possibilities that have never been fully explored. When you approach movement with curiosity rather than habit, with tenderness rather than force, you create space for a new pattern to emerge. Patterns that support healing rather than perpetuate tension. There is something magical that happens when you move slowly enough to actually feel what is happening. Your nervous system, which may have been operating in patterns of stress and urgency, begin to downshift into a more receptive state. Your muscle, which may have been chronically tight from years of unconscious holding, start to remember their capacity for both strength and softness. This mindful movement does not require perfect flexibility, optimal strength, or freedom from pain. It asks only that you show up to whatever movement is available to you with complete presence and acceptance. If you can only move your fingers, then you bring your full attention to the wonder of these small gestures. If walking is challenging, then you appreciate whatever steps are possible, or perhaps the movement of your torso as you breathe. The healing power of conscious movement lies not in its intensity, but in its quality of awareness. When you stretch your arm overhead, you are not just lengthening muscle, you are creating space for energy to flow more freely through your entire system. When you gently twist your spine, you are not just improving flexibility, you are massaging internal organs, stimulating circulation and inviting stuck emotion to move through and release. Your body is designed for movement and not the kind of mechanical, repetitive movement that characterize much of modern life. It craves the varied, organic, responsive movement that mirror the natural world. Sometimes flowed like water, sometimes stable like mountain, sometimes playful like wind through the leaves. As you explore this dance of presence, you may discover that certain movement naturally want to happen. Your body might spontaneously want to reach towards something or circle a joint that is not being feeling stiff or sway gentle from side to side. These impulses are not random. They are expression of your body innate intelligence. It's naturally drive toward balance and healing. And this practice teaches you to distinguish between the movement that come from pushing and forcing, which often create more tension and potential energy, and the movement that arises from listening and responding to your body authentic impulses. One deplete your energy while the other actually generate vitality and promote healing. Movement become a form of medicine when it is aligned with your body natural rhythm rather than imposed upon them. Your energy naturally, for example, flow throughout the day, throughout the season of your life. Sometimes your body wants vigorous, dynamic movement. Sometimes it craves gentle, restorative gesture. Sometimes it simply wants to be still. Honoring these natural fluctuations rather than forcing yourself into rigid exercise schedule allow movement to become a conversation rather than monologue. You begin to sense when your body is asking for activity and when it is requesting rest, when it needs challenge and when it needs ease. This dance of presence extends beyond formal movement practices into every gesture of your daily life. Washing dishes become an opportunity to appreciate the coordination of your hands and arms. Walking upstairs become a chance to feel the power in your legs and the rhythm of your breath. Even lying down at the end of the day can be experienced as a conscious, grateful surrender to the gravity embrace. Through mindful movement, you are not trying to achieve a particular outcome or reach a specific destination. You are celebrating the extraordinary fact that you are alive, that you have been given this miraculous instruments of flesh and bone and breath, and that every movement, no matter how small or simple, is a gift that never guaranteed to continue indefinitely. This perspective transforms movement from a chore into a privilege, from something you have to do into something you get to do. And that shift of consciousness, movement become one of your most powerful allies in the journey back to wholeness, vitality, and the profound joy of being fully alive in your body. There exists within you a healing forces so potent, so immediately available, that science is only beginning to understand its profound effect on every system, and I will add on every cell in your body. This force doesn't come in bottle, doesn't require a prescription and costs nothing, yet it has the power to transform your brain chemistry, strengthen your immune system, and literally rewire your nervous system for greater health and resilience. This is the fifth and perhaps most transformative practice, healing through genuine appreciation. Not the kind of gratitude that feels forced or artificial, not the mental exercise of listing things you should be thankful for, and the authentic, heart opening recognition of the countless gifts that are flow through your life in every moment. Your body right now is performing approximately 37 trillion cellular processes without your conscious direction. Your heart has been beating faithfully since before you were born, never taking a vacation, never calling in sick. Your lungs are extracting oxygen from the air and releasing waste product in a perfect rhythm that sustain your life. Your immune system is working around the clock, identifying and neutralizing a threat you will never ever know existed. When you truly pause to appreciate this miraculous orchestration happening within you, something profound shift in your biochemistry. Gratitude literally changes the composition of your blood, an increasing level of healing compounds while decreasing inflammatory marker. It activates the vagus nerve which stimulate your body's natural healing responses. It releases neurochemicals that reduce pain, enhance immune function, and promote cellular regeneration. But this isn't about forcing yourself to feel grateful for experiences that cause you genuine suffering. True healing, gratitude emerges from recognizing the aspect of your life that continue to support and nurture you even in the midst of challenge. It is about acknowledging your body's tireless effort to maintain your well-being even when it's struggling with illness or limitation. Perhaps your digestive system isn't functioning perfectly, but you can still appreciate how your body have processed thousands of meals, extracting nutrient and life force from food and transforming them into the energy that power your thoughts and your movement, your dreams. Maybe your joints are stiff and uncomfortable, but you can recognize the decades of faithful service they have provided, carrying you through countless experiences of joy, adventure, and simple daily activities. This practice asks you to become a grateful witness of your own existence, not because everything in your life is perfect, but because even in imperfection, there are threads of grace, moments of beauty, and evidence of love, so vast and constant that it often escape our notice entirely. As you activate this appreciation, you begin to notice things that were always present but somehow invisible. The way sunlight falls across your skin and your body knows exactly how to synchronize vitamin D from those rays. The way your body temperature remains perfectly regulated when you sleep without any conscious effort on your part. The way your wounds heal, your bruise fade, your energy return after rest. All expression of an intelligence far more sophisticated than the most advanced technology ever created. Gratitude becomes a form of the deepest medicine when you extend it toward the parts of yourself you have been rejecting or fighting against. Can you find appreciation for the anxiety that have been trying to keep you safe, even if its method feel overwhelming? Can you acknowledge the pain that has been asking you to slow down and pay attention to what your body truly needs? Can you recognize the fatigue that hasn't been insisting your family you finally get the rest you have been denying yourself? This does not mean becoming grateful for suffering itself, but rather appreciating the underlying intelligence that is constantly working to bring you back into balance, even when the process feels uncomfortable or inconvenient. Your symptoms are not random punishment. They are expression of a system that is doing everything it can to maintain your life and guide you towards a greater wholeness. When you begin each day by placing your hands on your heart and acknowledging even one thing your body have done for you in the past 24 hours, kept you breathing while you slept, digested your food, maintained your circulation, allowing you to see colors or hear sounds or feel textures, you are not just being positive, you are actively participating in your own healing process. This gratitude extends naturally to the world that supports your existence. The air that grows your food, the water that compromises most of your body, the air that fills your lung with life, the sun that provides the energy that powers everything on this planet. When you recognize your profound interconnectedness with all of life, your healing becomes not just a personal journey, but a celebration of the creative force that sustains the entire universe. The practice deepens when you appreciate the people who have contributed to your well-being, the farmers who grew your food, the hands that prepared it, the countless individuals who have made your life possible. Your existence is supported by the invisible web of connection and care that span the globe and extend back through generations of human kindness and effort. As this appreciation becomes more natural, more spontaneous, you may notice that your entire relationship with your body begin to transform. Instead of seeing it as something that needs to be fixed or improved, you begin to recognize it as a sacred vessel, a temporary home for the mysterious force of life that animate your being. This shift in perspective doesn't deny the reality of physical challenges or the importance of appropriate care. Instead, it provides foundation of love and acceptance from which healing can unfold more naturally. When your body feels truly appreciated rather than criticized, when it senses your genuine gratitude rather than your frustration, it relaxes into its natural capacity for restoration and renewal. Gratitude becomes the soil in which all other healing practices take root and flourish. When you breathe consciously, you do so with appreciation for the gift of breath. When you rest in silence, you recognize the blessing of peace. When you move mindfully, you celebrate the miracles of embodiment. When you listen to your body with compassion, you do so with genuine thankfulness for its constant communication and care. You now hold within your understanding 5 gateways to healing that have been available to you all along, waiting patiently for your recognition. These are not technologies to master or goals to achieve, but rather invitation to remember what you have always known in the deepest part of yourself. That healing is not something that happened to you, but something that flows through you when you create the conditions for your natural wholeness to emerge. Mindful breathing reconnect you with the life force that animate every cell. Sacred silence provide a spacious stillness where restoration naturally unfolds. Compassionate body awareness transform your relationship with physical challenges for resistance to loving. Dialogue, mindful movement, awaken the healing energies that flow through conscious embodiment. This is the summary, which is mindful breathing, silence, mindful movement, compassion to your body, and healing gratitude, which create the biochemical foundation where all other healing can flourish. These practices are not separate from each other, but are like facets of a single jewel, each reflecting and enhancing the others. When you breathe mindfully, you naturally enter a state of greater silence. When you rest in silence, compassion for your body emerges spontaneously. When you move with the presence, gratitude for your physical capacities arise effortlessly. When you appreciate your body gifts, you breathe more deeply, rest more peacefully, and move with greater ease. The beauty of this path lies not in the complexity, but in its profound simplicity. You do not need to be perfect at any of these practices. You do not need to set aside hours each day or create elaborate rituals. They are practices of integrations meant to weave naturally into the fabric of your daily experience, transforming ordinary moments into opportunities for healing and awakening. Perhaps you begin with just one conscious breath when you wake up, appreciating that your body has sustained you through another night of rest. Maybe you take 3 mindful steps as you move from one room to another, feeling your connection to the earth beneath your feet. You might place your hands on your heart for a moment and listen to what your body is communicating, responding with the same tenderness you would offer to a dear friend. The path of healing through these ancient practices asks nothing extraordinary of you while offering everything you truly need. It asks that you remember your inherent wholeness while acknowledging whatever challenges you may be facing. It invites you to trust your body wisdom while taking appropriate action for your well-being. It encourages you to accept what is while remaining open to what might become possible. This is not a quick fix or a miraculous cure, though miracles certainly can happen and do unfold along this path. This is a way of being with yourself that honor both your humanity and your inherent perfection. that acknowledges your limitation while celebrating your unlimited capacity for love, presence, and gratitude. As you continue on this journey, patient with yourself, be patient with yourself. Healing happens in its own limit, in its own timing, following rhythm that are different, often different from what your mind might prefer. Some days these practices will feel natural and effortless. Other days they might seem difficult or foreign. This is completely normal and part of the process of remembering what you have always known. Trust that every moment of conscious breathing, every pause of sacred silence, every gesture of self-compassion, every mindful movement, every flash of genuine gratitude is contributing to your healing in ways that may not be immediately visible but are absolutely real and significant. Your body has been your most faithful companion throughout your entire life. It has never given up on you, never stopped working on your behalf, never ceased in its constant devoted effort to maintain your well-being. These 5 practices are simply ways of joining your conscious participation with this ongoing miracle of aligning your awareness with the healing intelligence that has never left you. The journey of healing is not about reaching some final destination where everything is perfect and all challenges have disappeared. It is about discovering that even in the midst of whatever difficulties you may face, there exists within you an unshakable peace, an inexhaustible love, and profound trust in life itself that no external circumstances can diminish. If you find values in these ancient pathways to healing, if something within you has been stirred or awakened by this gentle reminder of your inherent wholeness, so please continue to subscribe to this channel and explore the profound simplicity of awakening, the practical wisdom of spiritual living, and the infinite ways that love can express itself through our human experience. Remember that your healing is not just a personal journey, but a gift to the entire world. Every moment you spend in conscious breathing, loving silence, compassionate awareness, mindful movement, and genuine gratitude ripple outwards, contributing to the healing of all life. Your well-being matters not just for you, but to the collective awakening of our human family. The path continues with each breath, each step, each movement of present, and in this continuation there is infinite possibility, unlimited grace, and the constant loving support for life itself, working always and in ways for your complete restoration to the wholeness that has never actually been lost, only temporarily forgotten. Thank you and goodbye. It is very, very good video, and I wish you know the points and apply it.